What's up, guys? This is Jeff. I'm going to do this video as a review of each island. With that having been said, I'm going to say that when I make these vlogs and these videos, it's not for people who live here, okay? It's for people who are thinking about moving here. The reason I make these blogs is because when I was coming here, I was looking for this information and it didn't exist. If you don't like the way that I go about doing this, when you come here and you would like to do it in a way that helps you, that you thought would help you, you should probably do that and make it for people like you. I say this because I think there's been a little bit of miscommunication with some people who've watched these videos where they were wondering why a white dude is talking about Hawaii. Okay, so what I'm providing is a resource for people like me who are coming to the islands. So this is not a review of all the islands for locals or for Hawaiians, because they know a lot more about this place, the ins and outs, than I do. I'm giving the information for people who are coming here, potentially coming here, looking for a little bit more insight than what they already have. So let's kick off this review. Big Island. I call it one of the adventure capitals of the world. I've been to New Zealand, I've been to Thailand, I've been to pretty much everywhere but Africa. I would say maybe Madagascar might be an adventure capital, or Papua New Guinea or something like this, and I have not been there. But from all the places that I have been, the reason I said that, the reason why I went out on a limb and said that Big Island was the adventure capital of the world was because nowhere else can you get this wide variety of things to do in such a small landmass. Sure, there's other islands that have a lot to do, including Hawaiian Islands, Kauai, Maui, all these other places. But Madagascar, New Zealand, those are huge islands. Okay, Big Island, yeah, it's called a Big Island of Hawaii, but it's not that big of an island. I mean, what, probably 30 big islands could fit into Madagascar. I don't know the exact truth, but I'm just saying, I mean, that's how small Big Island is in comparison to an island like Madagascar or New Zealand, or anywhere for that matter that's an island, if you want to call Australia an island, although many geologists would say no. Okay, so I'm going to also do reviews of each island independent of this, but I'll give you a brief synopsis on why I call the Big Island the adventure capital. It's got everything you could possibly imagine here as far as ocean activities. I mean, there's not an ocean activity that you can't do here. I mean, you want to ride a jet ski, you can do that in Kona. People don't necessarily like that. You want to deep sea fish, pelagic fishing's here. You want to swim with dolphins, manta rays, sharks, sometimes whale sharks, humpback whales come here. You can't swim with them. Pilot whales, orcas. Okay, so that's that. You have great snorkeling. You know, that's the water activities. You then have great beach environment, resort environments, Hilton, Sheraton. You have white sand beaches all around there that are, you know, pristine. Some of the best that have been at times ranked best in the world. Why those lists change, I don't know. But I mean, even then, a lot of the beaches that you go to around the world, you know, they might not live up to some of these beaches, even if they're ranked like that, just for review's sake. I would then say there's eco adventures, hiking, jungle trekking, all that. So it's really cool. Moving on to Maui, you have what is the way that people said, like one of the guys who grew up on a Big Island, when I first went to Maui, I always remember he said, Hawaii's the way, or Maui's the way that Hawaii should be. I got sunburn and my nose is kind of peeling. But so they said Maui's the way that Hawaii should be. I don't know what he meant by that necessarily, because I didn't say that, so I didn't paint the picture that he's viewing. But when I went there, it was pretty nostalgic. The ambiance is great. It is great for resort style couples, honeymoons. There is some adventure to do in Hana. There is some adventure to do in Haleakala. There is some adventure to do over around the other side past Wailuku before you get to the Lahaina side, so to say. There's Io Valley. You know, Maui's pretty cool. It's like it's pretty easy going. I think you like it. It's a little bit expensive. It's got a mall. Got better food than the Big Island, and I say that from experience. Let's see here. If you go to Oahu, now Oahu is busy. It's probably, a lot of people say it's the best place for young people to live. If you're a young person, because you can get the adventure, you can get the nightlife, you can get the big city, you can get the jobs, you can get the roommate situation going pretty effectively there. Dating is great. Food is better than all the other islands, and it's got some of the best beaches in all of the state. So with all that being said, for those looking to still live the upbeat life in paradise, Oahu's your answer. Whereas Maui and Big Island are a little bit slower paced. It's a little bit more expensive. It's got a lot of stuff to do there. You won't be bored in Oahu. I mean, if you were trying to find solidarity or, you know, solitary anything, I guess you could say solitary, in Oahu, you would have to probably go towards North Shore, Haleiwa, and I don't know. That's about, you know, it's not even really. It's busy over there, especially during the summer or the winter months when big waves are coming. So, yeah. But I'm saying if you go a little bit farther around past like that side of the island, and so you got Lanai. Lanai is, I think it's privately owned by Larry Ellison from Oracle. I don't know the exact details. There is some camping on there. There is about 5 or 6 different things that are popular tourist points of interest there. There is a resort, the Four Seasons. Haluk Bay is where you camp, hang out. It's like one of the main beaches. All the other beaches, Shipwreck Beach, and then the other beach on the other side of Lanai that faces towards Oahu and Molokai, that is hard to get to. I mean, but people can get there, but a lot of people don't go to Lanai, so we'll just leave it at that, okay? Molokai is, I've heard just amazing things about Molokai. They want to keep it untouched as possible. The Hawaiian Kingdom is very well set up there. They're very they run that place, you know, more so than they have opportunity to run Oahu, whereas, you know, the United States government intervenes there. Molokai is kind of off grid, a little bit on grid. And like I said, I mean, I'm not Hawaiian. I'm not gonna say anything else about Molokai outside of the fact that it's untouched and they like to keep it that way. So keep in mind when you go in there, you know, you're going to a very untouched place that carbon footprint needs to be minimal. Then you have Kawaii. Kauai is one of those places that people can go to and get really bored if they don't do their homework on what to do in Kauai. And then there's people who will go to Kauai and say it's the most beautiful place in all of the world. And they go to Bora Bora, this and that. And the difference is, do you stay on the east side or do you go to the west side? Because the west side of the island is where the magic happens. You know, the amazing Pali Coast, Waimea Canyon, even the beaches over there, Hanalei, and then on the south side you have Palihele. And so it's just really amazing on that side. The east side, it's not like the east side is lacking in abundance of stuff, really, but it's just not, you know, the ocean isn't like Hawaiian blue, clear coral on many of the beaches. It's kind of like driftwood, and rivers pour into there, so the water's kind of murky most of the time. It's beautiful. I mean, they have a path that goes around there. You can hike that path. You can go to Kalapaki. It's a pretty cool little bay. Surfers, watch the surfers. But like I said, I mean, Maui's really got fresh air too, but it's the Garden Isle. But the Pali Coast is what really sets it apart. So if you can get to the Pali Coast, the very wild place, the Pali Coast. I mean, you feel something. I mean, it is a wild place because basically you're standing on the edge of the Hawaiian Islands chain for land. Because I mean, there's a couple atolls out there, but you know, Midway and Johnson Atoll, those aren't really islands. I mean, those are atolls. But you're really just standing on the edge of, like, there's nothing in between there and Japan or Asia. And you could say, well, doesn't the Big Island have that when you're facing east? Yeah, but you don't feel that same kind of like, whoa. Because the Nepali cliffs, they're just cliffs. I mean, it's like, it's crazy how the cliffs are right there at the edge of it all, and you really feel like you're kind of like on the edge when you're, especially when you're walking that trail up back into the Pali Coast from Honolulu. I forgot the name of it. It's past tunnels. And even if I did know the name, you guys would probably be like, hey, that's the wrong pronunciation, so I'd rather just save face on that. Anyway, so that's my review of all the islands. You know, there's Keolave. That one you cannot go to. It's a military base. They sometimes send kids there for like ecological retreats and field trips or day trips or even camping. But those are the only people I've ever met who went there, was kids who went there when they were in high school. And then there's, oh man, I'm not even going to try it. Niihau, I think is what it's called. It's the island just past Kawaii. I've never been there. Some family owns it, I think, and they also own land on Kauai. I think they're called the Robinson family. I don't know. So I've never been there, so I'm not going to even have anything else to say about that. And I already talked about the atolls. But other than that, those are the reviews of the Hawaiian Islands. And I'm going to make reviews about each island as you guys make requests in the comments below about videos that you'd like me to make, which help me to produce more videos that answer your guys' questions. So subscribe to my channel if you would like. I do traveling, and I've been saying this, I'm going to be traveling. So if you don't just want to hear about Hawaii, there's other places that I'm going to be doing reviews on that I've already been, that I'm going to go back to, and then do some other exploration into places I haven't been to. So subscribe if you like.